Hello and welcome. Plenty of action today. We have seen what has happened with Neeraj Chopra and his statement. We have seen what is going out in the larger sporting domain if you watch social media, follow social media. So, the straight question that we are asking, and this kind of emanates from what Neeraj Chopra had to put out as a statement: should India sever all sporting ties with Pakistan? When we say, should India sever all sporting ties with Pakistan, we are conscious of two or three ground realities. One, we are conscious that in the Olympic Games, it is not India that organizes it. So, suppose a Pakistani athlete is part of a shooting competition. What can India do? Or he or she is part of a hockey competition. What can India do? We are conscious of that. Take the International Cricket Council. Can India tell the International Cricket Council not to put India and Pakistan in the same group? Is it possible? Maybe yes. Should India at least try? When it comes to bilateral sport, and the problem with us has been we have not played cricket with Pakistan, but we have played hockey, we have played table tennis, we have played football, we have played squash, we have played every other sport. Is it time? Is it time to stop every kind of sporting activity with Pakistan? Because with terror, when people are coming into India to kill our own, how on earth do you engage in sport, any form, with a country like that is what we are asking. Joining me, Gargi and Shomik from the Eden Gardens, Rohit Juglan from Delhi, Bharat Ramraj from Bangalore, Devashish Sen from Kolkata. So this is pan-India. We've got all my panelists from different parts of the country. I will start with you. Rohit Juglan. I've seen some of your tweets. Question: should India sever all sporting ties with Pakistan? More specifically for you, because you cover cricket, what is your take on ICC tournaments? If you ask me, India should request the ICC not to put them in the same group. Yes, if it eventually happens, we will see. But it is time to stop all sporting contact with Pakistan. Rohit Juglan.
Brother, again, actually, I doesn't agree with that because what will you do? Suppose if we're in this kind of stage in 2003 or 2004 or take a 2007, what will you do when India faces Pakistan in a final? Will you give them the final? What will you do when you meet them in Mohali 2011 World Cup semi-final? Will you give them the semi-final? What will you do when you face them in 2017 Champions Trophy final? Will you give them the final? I never want Pakistan to take gifts from India as far as these crunch matches are concerned. Because, eventually what would have happened is, see, 1989, India tore Pakistan last time. Then they eventually stopped because of what had happening, throughout the borders. But these two countries have also played cricket. Look, what's the worst thing between two nations? Is there anything worse between wars? But these two countries played when the war is going on in 1999. They played a World Cup game in England, and at that point of time, the Kargil war was going on. So my point is, if you want to boycott everything, like what 1980, 1984, the Olympics better than me, Bureda. Like the USA and USSR did. They completely boycotted Olympics. So it can't be like very, very choosy that we don't want to play the league stage game, but we will play eventually them in a knockout game. If you don't want to play them, then don't play them in any kind of field. And the way we can dictate the terms in cricket field, we can't dictate the terms in other sports also. Eventually it will hurt us. Eventually boycotting them, boycotting a game from hockey, from tennis, from any other thing, it will hurt us. It's not like that, saying that we don't want to play against Pakistan, it will give us something. So I am in the favor of, if you want to boycott everything. But then the most important point is, if you're going to meet in a 2026 World Cup semi-final, what will you do? Whether you want to give that final to Pakistan, that semi-final, or that any kind of knockout game to Pakistan, or you want to play them, you want to beat them as hard as you can, and you want to give something to your, to Indians.
Point taken, Rohit, but that is exactly where I was coming from. That there are certain, in fact, I started with this premise that if there is a Pakistani shooter in an Olympic final, will the Indian shooters walk out? I said no. But at the same time, There has been instances when a hockey team has gone to Pakistan, a football team has played Pakistan, bilateral, a squash team has gone there, table tennis team has gone there, X team has gone there. Only cricket we don't play bilateral, but every other sport there was bilateral sporting contact. Plus, in cricket, when you have, if you can, just tell the ICC that in a knockout final or a semi-final, which is not in anyone's hands, it's a global body, global tournament. But there is no way that the ICC, for whatever money reasons, commercial reasons, can put India and Pakistan in the same group. So I absolutely started with the premise that, take the case of Neeraj Chopra. By the way, I was just chatting with Neeraj Chopra. He just messaged right at the start of the show because he's read our piece. Now the point is, Neeraj Chopra getting abused. For what? He invited Arshad Nadeem 2 days before Pahalgam. He invited Arshad before, when all sporting contact was there. The moment it happened, there is no question of inviting Arshad. Neeraj is the pride of a nation. You are bringing 1 year back. 1 year back, what his mother said. Then 2 months back, a Cheteshwar Pujara was commentating with Pakistan commentators. All your Indian commentators were there in Dubai. You guys were there. I interviewed Shoaib Malik and what is that fellow's name? Ramiz Raja. All this contact was there. So then why are you not abusing us? You are abusing Neeraj Chopra's mother. Have we lost it or what? My point is simple. Where you can, and Rohit Juglan's point I buy, that in an Olympic Games, Bharat Ramraj, in an Olympic Games or an Asian Games, it is a multidiscipline games and there can be a Pakistani athlete. But wherever you can, take a stand and do not play against Pakistan at all. Boycott Pakistan in every possible way, wherever it is possible for you. Where do you stand on this, Bharat?
Yes, I kind of agree. Indians have sent tennis teams there. They have sent table tennis team has gone to Pakistan. Tennis team has gone to Pakistan. Somewhere hockey team also must have gone to Pakistan for bilaterals here or there. So in every possible way, perhaps try to ensure that you don't play Pakistan, especially after what happened in 2025 in Pelgam. So I kind of agree with that. Yes, in Olympics, obviously, you will be Neeraj Chopra would be up against someone like Nadeem, Arshad Nadeem, and somewhere else, even maybe in doubles, Indian tennis pair could be at some point of time against Pakistan in Davis Cup match. Or on those lines. So then you can't do much. Same with something like the World Cup knockout match, India suddenly playing against Pakistan in semis. But you can definitely ensure that these two teams are not grouped together all the time in every single tournament. That's at least if BCCI can put in a word. Obviously, Jai Shah is the chairperson. So from that regard, India can definitely look into it. Last time I saw Rajesh Shukla again, sir was again talking about bilaterals, not playing bilaterals, but that is old news. India have not been playing bilaterals against Pakistan since 2012, so there is nothing new to it. It's like going around in a washing machine, same thing. You are just putting it in a washing machine. So yes, India can look to do something on those lines, but I think the bigger things have to be obviously taken care by the government when it comes to how can we deal against Pakistan, especially after this particular attack.
Devashish, should the government now make a blanket rule? No sport with Pakistan. International events, I understand. For example, the United Nations. When you address a United Nations, there will be a Pakistani representative there also. You will have to coexist there. But any other forum, wherever you can boycott Pakistan, boycott Pakistan. Should the Indian government now put in a rule? For example, in February of this year, we had, or Davis Cup last time, if you remember, there was that kind of controversy. India sent a team to Pakistan. Table tennis players have gone. Other teams have gone. Pakistan football team came to India. Visas were given, etc. Stop all of this kind of contact. Devashish Sen.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with with such kind of step being taken by the Indian government, because you cannot have bloodshed and sports go hand in hand. Means obviously, and it was a situation few years back. It was a situation when both the teams played, both the players from other disciplines traveled to Pakistan, players from Pakistan traveled to India, but now the situation is completely different post April 22nd. After what happened in Pahalgam, with 26 innocent lives being lost, and it is evident now, it is clear now, there is clear Pakistani involvement. You cannot let that happen. Bloodshed At the same time, you cannot let sport happen side by side. So if wherever there is an opportunity to boycott Pakistan, simply boycott them. Simply boycott Pakistan. And I stand by it. Boycott Pakistan wherever there is an option. Means, and don't send teams to Pakistan. Don't invite them. Their hockey team is supposed to come and participate in Asia Cup in Rajgir. They are going to have the place in the qualifier in Rajgir from August 27 to September 7. Don't let their players get visa. Don't let any Pakistani nationals to get visa. And Indian government has taken a very, very bold step, and I salute the Indian authorities for taking such a step. Don't ever give them visa. These Pakistani journalists, several of them, they are criticized. They are time and again during the Champions Trophy thing when India did not travel. They have been criticizing Indian media, Indian team. So where are they now? Where are they now? Means because it is clearly evident that there is Pakistan's involvement in that bloodshed that happened in Pahalgam. So I definitely feel that where there's a single semblance of an opportunity to boycott Pakistan, because now it is the right time to boycott them.
Shomik, Gargi, where do you stand on this? Both of you. Gargi, why don't you start, and Shomik?
Look, I know that we all say sports divides, and the larger perspective or the larger object of, let's say, the larger motto of sport is to unify people. But I am a firm believer that when it comes to administration, politics and sports are the same. They cannot be differentiated. There is no line between them. And when it comes to India and Pakistan, the tensions, the geopolitical tensions have reached such, especially with our own countrymen being killed, innocent lives being put at stake, martyred. There is no place for Pakistan in India, even if it comes to sport. There is no unity there. There is no unity among these two countries. And at this point, there is no point, like you said, again, when it comes to Olympic sports, when it comes to an ICC tournament, you do not have the option of sort of opting out of, or giving them the win, like Rohit was saying. But when it comes to bilaterals, stop every single sport. Your tennis team went for the Davis Cup in Pakistan. Don't do that ever again. You've been sending all your teams except the cricket team to Pakistan to play tournaments. Don't ever do that again. You've been letting Pakistan players in. I know that it's not their fault and it's nothing personal, but the fact that you are giving Pakistan that power to come to your country, to enter your country, it cannot be done anymore. It just doesn't. It should not happen again.
Shomik?
See, there are two sides to it. One is that the bilateral ties between India and Pakistan. Now, when you have severed the diplomatic ties between the two countries, there is no question of having bilateral sporting ties because sports cannot live in a vacuum. Sport is part of politics, and the don't mix politics with sports is a very nauseating line because it cannot happen. Um, Number one. Number two, if you want to ostracize Pakistan, uh, in global sporting events, like if I want to give you an example of Russia and Ukraine. The two countries are at war at the moment, and Russia have been made the persona non grata globally. They are not allowed to participate in the World Cup at Olympics. They are not nowhere. I mean, even their athletes have been participating in those global events under IOC flag, not as under Russian flag. So if you want to do that, if you want to ostracize Pakistan globally as far as sport is concerned, then you have to have the diplomatic that sport cannot do it. I mean, sporting organizations or the sporting authorities cannot do it. It has to be done through diplomacy, through diplomatic channels. You have to have that kind of a diplomatic muscles. Now, making ostracizing Russia was not done by the Ukrainian Sports Federation. It is a diplomatic call taken collectively taken by the West. So, if you want to ostracize Pakistan globally in all sporting events, then you have to have that kind of diplomatic muscle to do it. Now, West backed by America can do it. West backed by America can do it. It is a little bit difficult for as far as India is concerned, and that is the reality.
The panel is more or less unified. The panel is more or less unified on one point, that wherever you can, and I buy Rohit's point, I buy Gargi's point, that in an international event, it is impossible, like, and also Shomik, that in an international event like an Olympic Games or an ICC tournament, it is impossible. But wherever you can, don't play. Just stop it. Just stop it right now. Terror, bloodshed, and sport cannot coexist is the message that needs to go out loud and clear. Rohit Juglan, the reason that we started this debate is, and think about it. Think about it. The Pakistan Interiors Minister is the head of the PCB. You cannot differentiate, like the point that Shomik made with sports and politics. How do you separate the two? It is one entity. With Mohsin Naqvi is a representative of the Pakistan military, the Pakistan government, the Pakistan diplomats, diplomatic fraternity. He's the head of the PCB. So how do you separate the two at all? And that is where it is now absolutely imperative that the government of India, no longer the BCCI, the government of India needs to take a stand that, hello, unless it's an international competition where you are bound by certain global norms like the IOC Charter or an International Cricket Council, every sport with Pakistan for the foreseeable future is stopped. And not just cricket. Every possible sport is stopped. Rohit Juglan.
Exactly, Buryada. And if you see bilateral series, I think from last 13 years we haven't played anything. So it's not anything new in that regards that we're gonna start some bilateral series with Pakistan. No, there's no chance. And this is not from now. This is from 2000.
बाकी स्पोर्ट देखो रोहित, बाकी स्पोर्ट तो हम खेलते थे.
बाकी स्पोर्ट्स में बुरियादा ये है ना कि क्रिकेट हम 1 मिनट के लिए कमांड भी कर सकते हैं, बट अगर जैसे अभी देवाशीष दा ने कहा कि हॉकी टीम पाकिस्तान की इंडिया नहीं आनी चाहिए, लेकिन अगर इंडिया ही होस्ट है और वो एक टूर्नामेंट है तो आप पाकिस्तान को कैसे रोक लोगे? फिर इंटरनेशनल बॉडीज क्या आपके ऊपर एक्शन नहीं लेंगी कि आप या तो आप पूरी दुनिया के सामने पाकिस्तान का ये नकाब हटाइए उनके चेहरे से कि ये एक टेरर फंडिंग मुल्क है और इनके प्लेयर्स चाहे इनका कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हो, या तो फिर आप उसी रेस पे चले जा रहे हैं जहां पर आप ये कह रहे हैं कि नहीं, एक अरशद नदीम भी आतंकवादी है, एक हॉकी प्लेयर भी आतंकवादी है और एक क्रिकेट प्लेयर भी आतंकवादी है. अगर आपको उनके प्लेयर्स को यहां पर लाने की इजाजत नहीं देनी है तो इंटरनेशनल बॉडीज क्या आपसे ये सवाल नहीं पूछेंगी कि क्या आप पाकिस्तान जो एक प्लेइंग नेशन है उसको आप हॉकी ग्राउंड पर नहीं आने दे रहे हो, तो हम ये टूर्नामेंट आपके घर पर कैसे करा सकते हैं? 2026 अगर पाकिस्तान इंडिया T20 वर्ल्ड कप के लिए क्वालिफाई करता है और इंडिया कहता है हम नहीं आने देंगे, तो उसके लिए एक हाइब्रिड मॉडल है. क्या बाकी स्पोर्ट्स के लिए अगर हमारी टेनिस टीम को वहां जाना है तो वो हमारी मजबूरी है, क्योंकि हम इंटरनेशनल टेनिस बॉडी को फोर्स नहीं कर सकते कि हम यहां पर नहीं खेलेंगे या हम वहां पर खेलेंगे या हम इस जगह पे नहीं जाएंगे. और अगर हम वो बॉयकॉट करते हैं तो हम अपने पांव पे खुद कुल्हाड़ी मार रहे हैं ना. वो हमारे क्वालिफिकेशंस को किसी ना किसी तरीके से चोट पहुंचाएगा, वो हमारी रेपुटेशन को चोट पहुंचाएगा. या तो इंडिया अपने आप में इस पूरी मुहिम को वहां लेकर जाए जहां पर यह हो कि पाकिस्तान से आने वाला कोई भी शख्स इस देश में, इस देश की सुरक्षा के लिए, इस देश की संप्रभुता के लिए सही नहीं है, सोवर्निटी और इंटीग्रिटी के लिए सही नहीं है. या तो आप ये प्रूफ कर दो, अदरवाइज आपको ये करना पड़ेगा. देखिए, क्रिकेट हम जानते हैं, वी कैन कमांड क्रिकेट. हम कह सकते हैं कि भाई आप पीसीबी चेयरमैन हैं, आप ही इंटीरियर मिनिस्टर हैं, आपका जो है वो सेना के साथ सीधे एक बातचीत है, सीधा रिश्ता है. हम चाहें तो ये कर सकते हैं कि नहीं यार, आईसीसी से ही हटाते हैं पाकिस्तान को, चलो पाकिस्तान को आईसीसी से ही हटा दिया जाए और फॉरगेट अबाउट, फिर हमें भी कुछ नहीं छोड़ना है, उनके लिए भी कुछ रहेगा नहीं. क्या ये हम कर सकते हैं? ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा कॉल हो सकता है, पर क्या ये आईसीसी कर सकता है इस समय पर? और बाकी स्पोर्ट्स में क्या हमारे पास इतनी कमांड है?
भारत, यही तो डिप्लोमेसी है. हमने वर्ल्ड डिप्लोमेसी में यही देखा है, whether it is the US, whether it is the Soviets at one point,
वो तो बॉयकॉट करते हैं ना. देख, 1980 उन्होंने बॉयकॉट करा, 84 कंप्लीट बॉयकॉट होता है. तो क्या इंडिया
ऐसे तो नहीं है ना रोहित. 80 और 84 was the extreme at the Olympic Games. But कोल्ड वॉर तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कोल्ड वॉर 1980 में शुरू हुआ और 84 में खत्म हो गया. नहीं है. Till the breakdown of the Iron Curtain, till 1992, और चलो 90 पकड़ लेते हैं, till perestroika glasnost, till Gorbachev, till all of that, the breakdown of the Berlin Wall, all of that, the story of the Cold War, we have seen sporting diplomacy continuously unfolding. And that is the question. I understand where it's coming from, Bharat, but my point is, how does sport step up? Sport has to step up, because if after this sport doesn't, think about it, What do you tell the martyr families? That you have been martyred, and here it is, under compulsion we are playing sport with Pakistan, and it's all hunky-dory. How do you even explain this? Because this time things have gone completely beyond anybody's control. So Bharat Ramraj, sport realistically, what can anyone do? And I'll give a, by the way, this is not so let me put it this way. When you have an opportunity to send a Rohit Juglan or a Shomik Chakraborty or a Bharat Ramraj or a Devashish Sen to Pakistan to cover an event, Champions Trophy, what stand did we take? We said, no, we will not send to Pakistan. Let them go to Dubai. Let them go to Dubai. Let them cover the Dubai leg. We will not send to Pakistan. Many people even criticized us. क्यों नहीं पाकिस्तान जा रहे हो? नहीं जाएंगे. नहीं जाएंगे पाकिस्तान.
Even Pakistani journalists asked us कि आप वहां क्यों नहीं आए?
Exactly. So question ये है कि जहां पे it is in your hands, Bharat, why do you not want to stay away? Because this becomes double standards. This becomes double standards that at one point you will go and enjoy in Pakistan and thereafter start. ये तो नहीं हो सकता है. Take a stand. The stand today is Pakistan cannot be engaged with at any level wherever India can stop them. Diplomatic, sporting, political, cultural, film, everywhere. Because you have to tell the world this is a rogue nation. And this is not about Pakistani people. This is a rogue nation for what has happened. Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, just noted a few minutes ago, wherever it is possible, India has to stop their ties with Pakistan. Let it be maybe a regular tennis match. If it is not a Davis Cup or something on those lines, then it can be stopped. Or if it's a table tennis, because I'm seeing a lot of ties in relation to hockey, India and Pakistan playing hockey. Obviously, if it's a qualifiers for the world event or for the Olympics or for Asian Games, then obviously India have to play, because then it is India who will, if they abandon or if they withdraw from that particular match, then it is India who will suffer. Or for the matter, when javelin final happens at Olympics, if India doesn't, if Neeraj Chopra doesn't participate, then it is India who will suffer. So on those lines, India can't do much, but wherever it is possible, India have to sever their ties. You can see the film recently, Fawad and Vani Kapoor's film has been stopped here in India. That won't be screened either. So wherever, not just in terms of sports, it could be in films, it could be on some other lines. India has to take necessary steps, because this time what I'm seeing, the raw emotions I'm seeing from people, it's something different. And I think Indians, not just those martyrs, I have no words to describe about what happened in that particular incident in Pelgam, because I can't describe it. It's the pain, the agony, that's something else. But even common people, common citizens, I can see that anger, I can see the raw emotions. So I think India have to take such decisions wherever it is possible. Let it be films, let it be sports. Try to stop it.
Devashish Sen, in a world where if you see there have been multiple instances in the past where because of dope, because of organized dope, because of something, a country has been isolated, ostracized, and thrown out. Take the case of Russia. And you have seen certain sport, which is why they were not part of the Olympic Games. Okay, there have been instances that because of certain cases, countries have been isolated by international federations. Now, if you are a strong country, India's quest should be to ostracize and absolutely expose Pakistan at every level and wherever you can. If that means exert force, if you have the clout, isolate Pakistan. Make sure that no one plays. They are not part of a global sport. If that means you lobby, you politicize, you diplomatic ties, whatever you want to use, you use. It is not as if people have not done that in the past. People have. This time, when innocent lives are lost, Devashish Sen, it is the be all. It's done. No way can this be tolerated under any circumstance by any Indian. If that means we forego a tournament, so be it. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, if there is a case for India to obviously to kick out Pakistan, means be it sport, means you have rightly explained the example, taken the example of Russia. Means obviously, if there is a case where you can boycott Pakistan from an international arena, you have the United Nations. Because if there is clear evidence of Pakistan's role in the attack, in the brutal attack that happened in Pahalgaon. So why will you entertain Pakistan? Pakistan should be globally boycotted, and India have to take us clear up because they have a very good relation now with US. And it is the government of India to take a stance and go to the United Nations and convince them that this is a terror state, this is a terror country, this is an established terror nation. So no two ways. You cannot have bloodshed. Just think about that little boy who lost his father. Just think about the wife who got newly married. What harm did they do? What harm did they do? Means what they are innocent people. They are innocent citizens. I could have lost my son or daughter because they were in Pahalgaon for vacation. So the India and this is the right time to show Pakistan उनका औकात क्या है. This is the time for the Indian government, the Indian public, the citizens to show what India can do. What India can do because Pakistan is a terror state, and they can. And India should not keep should sever all ties with Pakistan, and if that be in the field of sports, so be it.
Shubhan Chakraborty also joins us. Shubhan, where do you stand? Clearly, the anger is evident. Clearly, the disgust, the frustration, the anger, everything. And this is a pan-Indian phenomenon. It is absolutely, absolutely essential now that India takes steps. The panel is united. And I take the point that Rohit Juglan made, Gargi made, Shomik made, Devashish made, Bharat made, that in an international competition, it is like an Olympic Games. It is difficult to say, I will not compete with you when there is an event. But wherever you can, whatever sport it is, cricket, football, hockey, table tennis, squash, tennis, anything, if you have the opportunity of boycotting Pakistan, boycott them. If you have the opportunity of stifling PSL, stifle it. If you can get all the international players to withdraw from it, if you have the financial muscle, do it. Just like you are doing it diplomatically, whether it's with the Indus Treaty, with something else, do it in sport as well. Make Pakistan aware that India will no longer brook this nonsense. Where do you stand on this, Shubhan Chakraborty? Shubhan, if you can hear me.
Absolutely, I think the water has crossed the limits now, and yes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. So the water has crossed its limits now, and it is not the first time we have seen it numerous times in the past as well, and even when we were talking in one of our Hindi shows, we said that so far. Tourists weren't targeted, but this time around, someone as Harsha Bungle very rightly said in yesterday's toss presentation that innocent lives, innocent people who were out there to spend some good time, spend a good holiday, good vacation with their own families in their own country. If they are not safe, then the onus has to be on the government to do something, and they are doing it right now. It is not something we click a button and start a war. That can't happen, but we can stifle them, as you rightly use the word, stifle them, just nauseate them from all the things that we can possibly do. Diplomatically, we are doing, trade wise, we are sending all the Pakistan nationals back to their country, and it is now time to act in the front of sports as well. Sport is something which we have always said it should reunite people, it should unite people, it should stop the negative aggression that is going around in the entire world. But that sport we can't play a nation that is killing, that is taking our lives. Yes, I'm not against all the innocent people, all the civilians that are in that country. They have done nothing wrong, but at the same time, the country who is breeding, who is keeping, who is housing all these terrorists, they should have no place in this society. Russia is an example. During the Olympics, they were actually, the athletes were allowed in the neutral flag. But in cricket, I don't think there's any chance that there's a neutral flag we can put forward. But stifle them. PSL, stop the PSL. If you have the muscle, tell the ECB, tell the Cricket Australia board, tell other boards that bring your players back. Don't allow them to play them. ICC tournaments. If India can say we don't want to play Pakistan. At the same time, if Cricket Australia, like they did with Afghanistan, they stopped the bilateral series because of the Taliban rule. Why not do the same with Pakistan? They are doing the same. If England Cricket Board, Cricket Australia, South African Board, New Zealand Board, if they all say the same thing that we won't play Pakistan, don't put us in the same group, then ICC will have no option then to stop Pakistan from participating in that specific tournament. Stop that.
Let, let,
Stop.
let me
Take
let,
the extreme measures.
exactly. Let Shomik Gargi. Let me give you a specific example. Take PSL. Kane Williamson was commentating in India. Kane Williamson is now playing in Pakistan. Tell Kane Williams, not Kane Williamson, just the person, anyone. You want to go to Pakistan, play, commentate, you are not welcome in India, whoever you are. We don't care. Whether it is a
Anyone
Kane
who
Williamson,
registers for PSL should not be allowed in IPL.
exactly. Take a David Warner. David Warner is much loved in India. You cannot play the PSL. You want to play the PSL, you are not welcome in India going forward. Hyderabad, Telugu, Kannada, film, non-film, IPL, commentary, nothing. You have to be very clear. Choose between a rogue nation and a civilized nation. Shomik Gargi, where do you stand?
See, my just a second. See, my 2 cents on this. That is the situation. The whole thing is far too complicated for sports to take a call. It is not for sports to take a call in this matter. The starting point is to declare Pakistan as a terrorist state, and that has to be done at the United Nations, which is very, very difficult. India has been trying this since 1992 Bombay bomb blast, but it is very, very difficult because I don't see the West declaring Pakistan as a terrorist state, because for them, Pakistan is a buffer state uh, for Central Asia and Afghanistan. So, I mean, this is very, very, I mean, in this case, in this particular case, that starting point, first you declare Pakistan as terrorist state, and then the rest will follow, be it sport, be it cultural side, be it music, film, everything. But that's the starting point, and that is very, very difficult to do, because it is nigh on impossible to convince the West to do it for their own interest. They will not allow until
But
until after.
Swamikda, tell me one thing. Sorry to interrupt, but tell me one thing. If Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif is going on Sky News and telling that we have been sheltering terrorists for the last 3 decades, then
Imran Khan,
he is publicly saying so.
see, Shubayan, forget about their interior minister or whoever that Johnny is. Imran Khan, when he was the
He is
prime
the
minister.
defense minister. He is the defense
No,
minister
no, no,
Khwaja
defense
Asif.
minister. No, I'm saying Imran Khan, when he was the prime minister, he openly on record said, yes, we harbor terrorists. We harbor terrorists to start because to start with, America told us to do it for Afghanistan, for Afghan war, and then after that we harbor terrorists. Imran Khan, a sitting prime minister, on record he had said this. So it is nothing new. It is nothing new. So there are diplomatic things. This is way beyond sports remit. This is way beyond sports remit. The starting point after the Bombay blast in 1992, India went hell bent to declare Pakistan as a terrorist state at the United Nations. They failed, and it will not happen because West has their own interest. Because for them, Pakistan is a buffer state for Central Asia and Afghanistan. So there are political intricacies, political compulsions. It is India is not America. India's You have to accept that India is not America. What America can do, no other country in the world can. So from that point of view, we have to accept. We will sever bilateral ties, yes, because when we are severing diplomatic ties, then there is no question of bilateral sporting ties. But on the global platform, unless and until to ostracize Pakistan, You have to do it through your diplomatic muscles, not through sport or sporting authorities.
Dargi?
Sorry, can you repeat your question? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
The same question that I asked Shomik, that, and Shomik is making the point about feasibility. Shomik is making the point about feasibility, but there has to be concrete steps taken. Now, what are the concrete steps that one can take? The PSL example is the one that I put in front of you. Indian technicians broadcast in India, already things have stopped, fan code, XYZ, all of this stuff. Isolate Pakistan, give a message to international players, give a message to everyone, wherever you have clout, that you go to Pakistan, whether it is a cricketer or whoever. David Warner and Kane Williamson are two examples I gave you. If you stop them, the message has to go that then the Indian market is beyond you. How does or should the Indian state do that?
It has to be the government. It has to be the government that has to come forward at this point and put out a mandate. Be it, the point that Chubayan brought up about the PSL, be it about the players, the commentators, or whoever are participating in those, let's say, tournaments or whatever. Have the government say that if you've been to Pakistan in the last, let's say, 1 year, you are not allowed into India anymore. If Pakistan can make a statement by killing our countrymen, make a statement by letting them never step foot in our country again. Be it sport, be it whatever. Do not play them ever again, be it bilaterals. Yes, you cannot control, again, you cannot control the Olympic Games. Yes, you cannot control ICC tournament, but BCCI as a soft power. It is one of the biggest, the most powerful board in cricket. Use it. Use that power. This is the time to. If it doesn't happen now, it will never happen again. And these terror attacks will keep happening. No one, look, Pakistan, we all know what the reality is. This is now the time for the government to come forward, the government to put out a mandate that no Pakistani will ever set foot in the country again. There will be no bilaterals. There will be no sport played between the two nations. Just cut it out. That's the only solution.
Let me take closing comments. I'll start with Rohit Juglan. Yes, Shomik, you want to say something? Yes.
Yeah, I will be going to Gujarat Titans, Punjab Kings press conference. So allow me to take a leave.
Yeah, please. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll take closing comments. I'll start with Rohit Juglan. Rohit, this whole Neeraj Chopra incident. Neeraj Chopra is a matter of absolute national pride. He instantly put it out saying 2 days before this had happened, Arshad Nadeem is now no longer welcome. The context is very clear. Why are you attacking my family and my mother? I think this is a time to identify who's your own. He's a national treasure. Stand by him, protect him, understand the chronology, and let us be united. Rohit Juglan, let us send a strong voice. Because what was happening, the bigots, the trolls, they were attacking Neeraj Chopra for absolutely no reason. Whenever he had done that 2 days before Pahalgam, everything was on. Cricket was on, commentary was on, everything was on. He was absolutely not at fault. For him to face this, who is one of India's greatest sons, is unfortunate and unacceptable. Rohit Juglan, in the strongest possible terms.
बुढ़े साहब इस सब में ना एक चीज जो आम लोग हैं जिनको समझ नहीं है ना इन चीजों की, वो लोग स्पोर्ट्स को ना ऐसा मान रहे हैं जैसे मैं ये सिंपल सी एक चीज कहना चाहता हूँ, ये स्पोर्ट्स रोकना, ये कल्चरल टाइज रोकना, ये फिल्म्स रोकना, ये बहुत नीचे है अगर आप उस प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट को ढूंढोगे ना जो इस समय पे एक्चुअल में होनी चाहिए। जो बहुत सारे लोग कमेंट बॉक्स में लिख रहे हैं कि आप हमें ये बताइए कि वो परिवार एक्सेप्ट कर पाएंगे मैचेस को खेलना। मैं कह रहा हूं आप उनके परिवारों से जाकर पूछिए कि उनको क्या फर्क पड़ता है आप इंडिया पाकिस्तान से खेले या ना खेले। उनसे अगर आप एक्चुअली एट दिस पॉइंट पूछोगे ना तो उनको कहीं ना कहीं वो आसिम मुनीर का सर चाहते हैं, वो चाहते हैं कि हमें पाकिस्तानी आर्मी चीफ का सर लाकर दिया जाए। दैट्स व्हाट दे वांट। उनको इस चीज से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आप इंडिया पाकिस्तान खेल रहे हो या इंडिया पाकिस्तान नहीं खेल रहे हो, वो उनकी प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट में नहीं है। तो पहले जो लोग ये सोच रहे हैं ना कि नहीं यार ये स्पोर्टिंग टाइज बंद हो जाएंगे, हम नीरज चोपड़ा को गाली निकाल देंगे तो हमारा काम हो जाएगा, हम देशभक्त कहलाएंगे और हम अपना वो वैलिडेट कर देंगे कि यार देखो हमने घर से अपना काम कर दिया। सो नीरज चोपड़ा को गाली निकाल के इंडिया, ये सब चीजें प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट में बहुत नीचे हैं। और कुछ लोग इन सारी चीजों को जो प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट में होनी चाहिए, उन चीजों को छुपाने के लिए इन चीजों को आगे लेकर आते हैं कि यार ये इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच का क्या करना है, ये होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए। इससे किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, टू बी रियली ऑनेस्ट। अगर आपको सचमुच में कुछ करना है तो आपको वो वहां हिट करना पड़ेगा जहां पर इस चीज का असर सच में हो, रादर देन ये सारी चीजें बहुत ही बेसिक चीजें। इसका ना तो शहीद परिवारों के लोगों से कोई मतलब है उनको इन सारी चीजों से, ना उनको ये पता करना है कि आप क्या खेल रहे हो और नीरज चोपड़ा ने किसको बुलाया था और नहीं बुलाया था। ये जो लोग हैं इनको कोई जानकारी नहीं है और ये बस गाली निकालना चाहते हैं, ट्रोल करना चाहते हैं, इन सारी चीजों को आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं।
While Rohit has a point about priority, and absolutely a fair point about priority, it is also necessary for, say, us, the four of us sitting here. Now, we are not Jawans, we are not soldiers, we are not politicians who will take a call. We are not people who will take a rifle and go and start shooting in Kashmir and start fighting. This is not our limit. At the same time, we have to show solidarity. We are there to show solidarity, vent our anger, put out rational points where we can also make a difference. How does sport do that is the question we started with. And that is why this whole debate happened. And that is where, with our voice, sane voice, rational voice, prudent voice, when someone like a Neeraj Chopra gets abused, Bharat Ramraj, it is absolutely imperative for all of us to raise the voice and say, this is wrong. Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong. See, that is how social media is, unfortunately. If one or two of them go and abuse Neeraj Chopra or some other celebrity, then another 30, 40, 50, 60 will join because they start to think, yes, maybe our opinion will get validation, some kind of validation. Many of them do it only for likes, retweets. That's what I'm seeing on Twitter over the last few days. They don't have any opinion. I'm pretty sure about it. They don't have any frank opinion. They just are doing it for likes, retweets, 15,000 likes, 20,000 likes, 30,000 likes. Someone got 1,20,000 as well. So that could be reason as well, because suddenly they're quoting Neeraj Chopra's tweets and you are seeing them having 15, 20,000 likes. It could also be a little bit of raw emotions coming through for some, just giving a benefit of doubt. But it is sad to see. Neeraj Chopra appears to be a very good man. Obviously, I've not met him, but whatever I've seen of Neeraj Chopra in terms of how he approaches elders, how he meets them, he comes across as a very nice man, ethically a good man. So for him to go through it, it was sad to see. He just wanted all the top athletes to come to India, top javelin athletes to come to India. That was definitely his priority. That is why he definitely called up Arshad Nadeem. But unfortunately, it so happened that right at that time, that dastardly attack happened in Pelgam, and Neeraj Chopra seems to be the victim, one of the victims of all that of all the anger being directed towards him. So yes, but unfortunately, that's how social media is. I don't think it will get less. If anything, it will get worse and worse and worse, because everyone wants 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 likes.
Devashish, 10 closing words.
Yeah, I totally I'm with Neeraj Chopra, because given the role model he has been for India, I think that is totally uncalled for to be attacking his family and him. Yes, Neeraj has no role, because it was before the Pahalgam attack that he invited Arshad Nadeem to take part in that event. So I totally stay beside Neeraj Chopra, but at the same time, see, sport is one of the platform where you can boycott Pakistan. Definitely, means be it strategically with Indus River Treaty, means stopping the Indus River Treaty. These are small way, but yes, I know the martyrs family will love to see the Indian military retaliate, means they track the militants who have killed the 26 innocent people, take their blood. But at the same time, you need to establish that Pakistan is a terror state, and this is a small way. Obviously, sport is also a small way, by way of boycotting. Watch whichever way. Yes, I know it is the role of it is the martyrs family will be more than happy to see revenge being taken, revenge being inflicted by the Indian military. But at the same time, wherever there's an option to boycott Pakistan, just boycott them, be it sport, entertainment, and any sphere of life.
Let's end it here. Clearly, it's an open-ended debate. All of us are united about one thing, that the pain is deep. The nation is in mourning. We have to heal. And in order to heal, we have to stay united. We have to do everything in our powers, that the enemy is dealt with. If there is a rogue state that is perpetrating terror, we have to take action to somehow make sure that this stops. If this doesn't stop, to make sure that that state is fearful of what India can do. If that means boycott at all levels, if that means soft power, if that means military action, if that means diplomatic action, India should be ready for that. Because innocent lives lost, now 26, tomorrow can be 266, is unacceptable. Even if one life is lost, one Indian life. Just imagine, it could have been Rohit, it could have been Bharat, it could have been Devashish, it could have been me, and our wives and our daughters could have been in the position where those people are. So just imagine that and end the show. That's all we have to say. Thank you very much for watching.